Hey, members and patrons, just wanted to record a little behind the scenes video before the end of October. It is, of course, Halloween, and, you know, so this is the end of October. So, hope you guys are having a good evening if you're watching this on Halloween night, or if you're watching it afterwards. There will, of course, be probably trick or treaters coming as I record this, but don't worry, we got somebody on it. It's all good. And you might wonder why I have my stream background going right now instead of my my den like I normally do for these vlogs. And the reason for that is that we got some extra lights strung up that were really messing with autofocus. So I just thought this would be easier. But I have quite a few things I want to cover tonight. So normally, what we do on these vlogs is I kind of go over the performance of my last several videos, and or just the videos of this month. And I don't want it to get to the point where every time I get on here I'm talking about how disappointed I am with the video performance or revenue and all that stuff. What I will say is something that I have said repeatedly over the past several weeks, which is that September and October have really not been great months for my channel. They have just been rather shit. And there's a multitude of reasons for that. There are some seasonal patterns that do occur in like late summer, early fall, after kids go back to school and all of that. But it's more than that. I really do think that after YouTube's new CEO, Neil Monahan, stepped in, the changes to the algorithm that we have seen, which are now favoring shorts a lot more, have kind of led to a lot of channels, medium-sized channels in particular, taking a hit. They're promoting small creators, and that's good, but as many of you are probably aware, the recommendation system is broken. Like, you go to your homepage and if you're somebody that normally watches like Star Trek content, what you see on there is you get on there and you see like replays of minor league soccer games. It's like, what does that have to do with anything that I have been watching for the past, I don't know, forever? So that's what my recommendations are like. And then, large channels have taken a hit, and medium-sized channels like myself, even though I guess I would consider myself to be a small channel in a lot of ways still. But, we're just not reaching new audience members as much as we should. And YouTube's number one priority at this point is shorts. So having to adapt to that is something that I'm prepared to do. It's going to be tough to make these adjustments, but this is part of my job. So in the meantime, this is why I appreciate the support of people like you, my members and patrons, and everybody who donates super chats and on PayPal and buys stuff from my merch store. Speaking of merch, I have a few surprises for you guys, but I think I'm gonna hold on to that for a second. Just a split second. I do want to review what has been released this month. So Omega Plague was the first, and actually I think I can go ahead and transition here. Omega Plague was the first video that I released in October, a new Mass Effect video. As you can see, it didn't do so hot. But I kind of expected that a little bit. This was, of course, my explanation of how Mass Effect kind of incorporates some TNG lore a little bit, not literally merging of the universes, but just the ancient humanoid aliens from the Chase. They kind of invoke that in the sort of ancient aliens or panspermia hypothesis in Mass Effect a little bit, or at least that's a behind the scenes explanation for something that we witness in the games, which is the Omega Plague. Slingshot Effect, I released, I believe, the week after that, and I have to say that this one puzzled me a little bit. This actually got a number of people to unsub, and the watch time was not, or audience retention was not exactly where I wanted it to be. I'm not really sure why people chose Slingshot Effect of all videos to say, like, you know what, I'm done with Tyler. I think that people sort of I think they came to the conclusion, for whatever reason, that me trying to scientifically explain this Superman level phenomenon was like a waste of time or something like that. It's like, okay, but why did you choose this video topic and not literally any? Because there's a lot of fantastical shit in Star Trek. Like, why did Anyway, I think you guys get the point. And then, of course, TNG movies, released 3 days ago. It's continuing to climb. It has above average performance right now, and I'm happy with where it is now. I want it to continue to blow up more, but this is kind of a bump that I needed. And I'm really glad that you guys, for the most part, enjoyed it. There's obviously some people complaining about various things that I did or said in the video. And hold on, let me make sure. Hello, autofocus. It just feels like it's going soft a little bit for me, which is strange. But nevertheless, I hope it continues to grow. But revenue-wise, yeah, unfortunately, it's just it has not been great lately. But I do have a plan. And saying the word plan as I have my Battlestar Galactica script and some tabs open up here. So that's some fun timing. But I do have an idea to kind of supplement my revenue a little bit. And what that mainly entails is art, really, including some new merch designs. So I want tomorrow, from when I'm recording this, members and patrons at the $2 level and above are going to get access to these images that I'm about to show you. Which is one way that I could have phrased that. But these are some of the in-jokes, some of the popular in-jokes on my channel. And of course, we have All the Way. These are some new merch designs once again. We have All the Way, which is it's if one of those, if you get it, you get it. I mean, these are of course the Trill spots, and it's an enigma for those who for all those who wonder. We have Vape God, of course. The Vape God cannot leave out the Vape God. This has been an often requested merch design of mine. And by the way, these first two I created in a free program called Paint.net. Tally from Mass Effect, it was totally worth it. Little caption there. This is a kind of a flat shading version for easier printing of the realistic Tally portrait that I painted earlier this year while I was watching TNG Season 7. Kind of multitasking a little bit. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. And of course we have Sexy Tindy. I mean, how could I not? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release these images for members and patrons, including everybody who's watching this right now, but now for all of my members and patrons. And I guess I'll take some feedback. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I think I'm the greatest artist in the world. I mean, I tried. I definitely put a lot of effort into particularly this. Okay, hold on a second. That's for in a minute. Particularly this one and the Tally portrait. I put a lot of effort and time into it. But yeah, so you guys are going to get to see get a little bit more context for some of these, but I'm going to launch these. I think my goal is to launch these before Black Friday. I just think that that's the most appropriate thing that I can do this month, is this coming month, is to release these designs before Black Friday, so I can, maybe get a sale going in my store. But one other thing that I'm also doing is I'm kind of branching out a little bit. So, and those previews down there, yeah, that's not what I'm showing you today. Some of you knew that was going to exist, but anyway, this was commissioned by a client. So yes, I am in fact actually doing art commissions. This is to Lynn from Lower Decks. Now, before anybody says anything, it's all in good fun. This is, I don't think that these are overly lewd. Not that that's something that should matter. If we're talking about art that I'm doing for a commission, but obviously, like I'm keeping in mind who my audience is, and I'm keeping in mind how diverse my audience is too. I think that these have turned out very well, and this is something that I'm doing with a purpose. I'm not just doing this willy-nilly. Like I'm doing this. I'm starting to branch out into art commissions a little bit because I think that that's going to be a good way to hone my skills for future videos, future illustrations, and future videos. And I just really, I enjoy it. It relaxes me. And also, I think it's going to be a good way to make a little bit more money here in the meantime. Now, when I say that I'm starting art commissions, this is not something that I've officially announced yet. I don't know when I am going to officially announce it, but that's what these behind-the-scenes vlogs are about. I really just, I'm trying to come up with ways to diversify my my income sources, and so this, like, I can't pivot full time to doing art. That's not, like, first off, that's not my main realm. That's not my main territory, and it's just, I can't give up on my YouTube channel. Like, I can't, like, just stop uploading. Am I going to slow down a little bit in 2024? Possibly, and there's multiple reasons for that. I mean, my videos are getting longer and more complex. Even as early as a year ago, I was already sensing that the weekly schedule was going to not be sustainable, and I think my channel's become better for it, going with the quality over quantity model. I mean, I've talked with you guys at length about this. Like, the algorithm favors watch time, the algorithm favors long videos and also shorts. They're killing the medium length videos, which is one reason that this year, I ran the numbers on this, but, like, for the most part this year, I think that my videos that are, like, shorter than 15 to 20 minutes have all performed like crap, and most of my videos that are, like, longer than that are like 30 minutes or more especially, have done really well. Strange New Worlds Timeline, for instance. TNG seasons 5 through 7, for instance. And TNG movies it's still early to tell, like, where it's going to land, but it's performing well by all metrics, and I mean, it really is, and I hope that stays like that. But yeah, I can't pivot full time to doing art, but am I going to want to, like I said, supplement a little bit? Yes, and so I'll have some more details for you guys about that in the coming weeks, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about that for now. But there is one other project that I'm really hoping to launch in 2024, which is really exciting, and I've talked with a few people about this in my Discord and on live streams. Um, I think it's time for me to reveal to you guys the big reveal 15 minutes into this vlog. I want to do a Star Trek webcomic. Now, that's a little complicated because legally I can't make money off of something like that. I can't sell it unless I, license it. And do I feel like going to the trouble to, figure out how to, become like a licensed Star Trek author in this day? No, I don't know. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I want to create a web comic for my patrons and members, you guys. So eventually I'm going to announce like, okay, you can sign up at any tier to get access to the comic, because I think that's only fair. I'm not going to put it behind a paywall like in an extreme fashion. Am I going to put it behind a paywall? Generally, yes. And it's going to be expensive. I'm not going to reveal any budgetary numbers right now, but just, think about how much it costs to create a comic book. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty penny. But I've been saving up. I've been literally waiting to announce this to you guys for like months, and I have already started talking with artists that I know. I suppose that what I, am willing to trying to phrase this in a diplomatic sense. Like I'm going with artists who I know personally for some of it, but like, if any of you guys in my audience, I know some of you are artists. If you want to, send me your portfolio, we can maybe, kind of talk about some stuff a little bit, or audition. I've never done this before, so like, I'm learning the ropes. Is that the phrase? Or being, nobody's showing me the ropes except for like Google, like, and obviously some people who do have some experience with like digital art are kind of giving me some advice as well. But in any event, that's my big announcement. It's probably the biggest announcement of my career is, if we're being frank about it, but, just casually slide that in the 15-minute mark of my, my members and patrons, vlog. But yeah, speaking of live streams, and by the way, the story is already cracked for the most part on the comic. So like, I'll reveal what that is to you guys. It does contain original characters, just so you know, just so you're mentally prepared for that. Yes, I am putting my OCs on display. How brave of me, I know. But seriously, speaking of live streams, in case you missed it the other night, so I think 2 weeks ago I had my a regular Q&A where I just talked about Lower Decks and answer you guys' questions. But like, in case you missed it, this past Friday was an event, one of the live streams of all time, one of the good ones, one of my best ones. 10 hours. For 10 hours, I played Metroid Fusion. And, that was not something I expected I was going to do. I was fully prepared to play for like 5 hours, stop, and then come back on the 3rd of November, this Friday, from when I'm recording this, and, finish up. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop playing. So I beat the whole game in one sitting, and obviously I got up and walked around a little bit and had some mid breaks. But it was probably the most open, vulnerable stream that I've had, the deepest stream that I've had emotionally, the most honest, and insane stream that I've had. I was getting a little delirious there towards the end because it was after midnight where I live. But we talked about, well, we always talk about the economy, but dreams and well, if you were there, if you were there, you remember. But if not, like, go watch the playback or at least some of it. Please, for the love of God, go watch the watch it, because that was insane. Um, yeah, good super chat revenue in that stream too. But anyway, that's all I have for this month. This is literally the last thing I'm going to release this month on my channel, by definition. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go help with managing the cats, all the the many cats that live at my house while we've got trick-or-treaters coming on this Halloween night. So yeah, I guess you could say the costume that I'm wearing is I'm an astronaut. I'm in space. Anyway, uh, thank thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for everything you do to support the channel. Hope you guys are looking forward to those merch designs, which I would like to launch within the next few weeks. And yeah, if you haven't seen TNG movies, go watch it now. But if you have, I appreciate it. I mean, maybe watch it again. I don't know. The video's doing well, don't get me wrong, but it can do better. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.